sorry, forgot about the microphone. So good morning guys, and welcome back to the live stream with Gunboat Philadelphia. And I decided today I will begin with oiling all the wooden parts which I oiled 2 weeks ago, so they are completely dry. And yes, oil can dry much longer. Yeah, to the touch it can dry in an hour or two and you can touch it, but for complete dry and to get that almost final result of the color, you have to wait much longer. Sometimes it takes months when you will get the real color from the oiling, because oil also with time can darken. So some models with years and years of just standing and sitting on the shelf, they can become even darker, so don't overdo it from the very beginning. But we have basswood. It's very light wood, but after oiling you can see the texture, and I like this a lot. So let me switch the camera. This is the right one. Yeah, so you can see even texture. What was absolutely plain white without any even sign of fibers of wood, we can see right now some texture, some fibers are visible. So I like how oil the influence of oil on the basswood, because after that we can apply a layer of shellac and we will get that yellowish color as the entire model who is using shellac for the finish. So I will do it right now, because every time I'm saying something like I will oil in the end of the live stream, and in the end of the live stream, oh, I need to run somewhere and I forgot. So we will do it right now. And yes, I forgot to check something like gunstock oil on the Amazon, but today I will do it and I will put it in the list with materials and tools. I promise you that I will do it today. But yeah, I will use this mine Balsin, and yeah, it's definitely something German or from that origin. So let's apply it. I have a few drops in this bottle, maybe just enough for the Gunboat Philadelphia, but I have another 2 boxes or new bottles. And yes, to be honest, I haven't checked our Facebook group during this week like at all. It was a little busy, but I hope I will catch up today. So we'll check what you have done during this week, and if you have any questions, we'll answer them. So let's apply the oil. This is the color just written dark brown, because on this manufacturer makes them like yellow, brown, dark brown, nothing like even close to name it is some colors of wood or something, just brown. But I like the result. And for some reasons I have oil, just restoration oil or something like that. It also with some colors you can find different shades, but it does not influence the wood in the same way. Sometimes it just looks dirty on the wood, especially in such scale. When you have very small parts, it is not that perfect look which you can get from these gunstock oils. And maybe because the gunstock oils, not only because they are more expensive, but they were exactly designed for small wooden parts like handles of weapons, to take care of them, and it should be just something really perfect for that. So maybe that's why they were designed or have different formula, exactly with this calculation that this is for very small wooden parts, so it should look good, not like dirt. So it really, I like this type of oils. We have some Kilson. Even on Kilson I can see the texture of wood. And another thing about this, you just can, even if you apply too much oil, just can grab a paper towel and wipe it. Everything what is feature about it. So let's move in the bowl. I still have this knee. And the second one. Yeah, they become really beautiful. I can see the fibers, just beautiful wood now. And it was really plain white basswood. Now it is beautiful. Especially, I don't know why, but the cat heads, they become even so brown that I don't want to apply second layer. This is actually edge which was laser cut, I was cleaning it, but even the edges which weren't laser cut, they also dark brown. So this is, I got probably 2 spongy basswood, piece of basswood, so I don't know why, but it is just perfectly dark brown. I won't touch them today, and it is only one layer of oil. And this is what I'm saying. Even from if you are building same model, same drawings, you are using same drawings, using same wood, the model can look differently, because your wood or tree from which you got your supply, lumber supply, grown in different place, in warmer area, I don't know, but you just can get different result even with the same wood, just because you have different fibers of wood or texture of your wood. It is also important. So even if we are building hundreds of these gunboats, for example, every model will be different. Even if you will use the same techniques, everything the same, it will look different because of the wood. This is what I like the most of the wooden kits. You can't build exactly the same model out of it, like for example plastic models. Because yes, to paint and to make plastic models look like it is wood, this is just fantastic talent. I admire you guys who are doing this. But with wood, I prefer it because you never can get exactly the same model. Even when I was building exactly the same model, and it was repetitive work to build 4 models for the client, it was group build. We couldn't build exactly the same 4. For the client, they looked the same, all 4 of them. But we could see that they are different. And I believe this is something that only professionals can see, or modelers who are actually building models can see it. So yes, this is the best or the most interesting part of in wooden ship modeling. You never can get exactly the same model. Okay. I need to clean just a little deck, which I touched with a brush, and it was not the plan. Now I can move in the stern part with cleats. And this is also the edges which were laser cut, but they are not that dark as, for example, cut heads. So, and the same wood, same laser cut technique, and they look differently. And that's why I also usually saying that if you even use exactly the same materials as I, you probably can't get even the same result. No, that's why you can't get the same result, because this is quite often a recently asked question. I'm using exactly the same what is you using, why I can't get the same result? Because it's wood. You never can get exactly the same result with wood. And this is really what I like, really, just enjoying it. So you always will get something different even by using the same materials and techniques. That's why every model is unique. Isn't it exciting? So I'm actually curious how many exactly models we are building together. But even when I ask you, please post something, what are you doing, what is your result, show me your progress. And not that many regular publishers, let's say, are continue posting, but I haven't seen anything new. But I'm really curious how many exactly models are we building together. And I just would like to see what is going on with your model. And as I said, this is a private group, only for project participants, so nobody will judge you or will laugh or something, because I remember my first model, and I made all possible mistakes, and I told you this story, how my, let's say, future coach laughed when he saw my first model. But I really very, very grateful to him, because he has shown me all my mistakes, so I never repeated them on my next models. And this is, I believe, the most important at the very beginning. If you build a model, you think this is perfect one, and then somebody came who really knows something about models, told you like, oh, you made a bunch of mistakes, and then you realize that you repeated them on all the rest of your models, this is really sad. That's why it's much better to get some critiques at the very beginning, so you will learn all your mistakes, won't repeat them again. This is really valuable experience. So let me clean it. And when I'm saying something like critique, I mean healthy critique, not that somebody will love how you, the quality of work, but I mean if somebody will show you something like you put, for example, wrong knot, or tighten the block in wrong direction. So something, for example, why I'm talking about this, when I was building my first model, I found some literature or some useful information, but it was black and white pictures. So what I did, I made white shrouds. How you can, without knowing language to read, how could I know that shrouds were tarred? For a beginner, it was something like, for me, for example, it was absolutely something unknown. And I decided this because my model has some white strips, and yes, I made white whales also, or just left my wood white without tinting it. So I said it will be beautiful to get to make also white shrouds, and then my coach said like, yeah, this is beautiful, you're right, the color scheme, let's say, but all the shrouds were tarred, and like, oh shit. So I made a huge mistake, but I never repeated this again, because now I know that all the shrouds were tarred, so that's why they were so dark brown, almost black. Especially warships, they were even more heavily tarred than merchant ships, for example. That's why you can see sometimes red lines made out of white ropes on the merchant ships, and they heavily tarred on the warships. And sometimes I'm seeing this mistake on just kit builders, beginners. People decided like, oh, it looked good if I will put white red lines on the warship, for example, or on the contrary, will tar the red lines on the merchant ship. I can't say that this is really big mistake, but this is something what wasn't on the merchant ships. Also, it also depends where the ship was serving, located, because, for example, in warmest place where the sun is very active, so the tar will be constantly sticky. And can you imagine if the sailor will climb on that heavily tarred red lines up and down and step on the deck, what happened with the deck? And for the warships, it was like, face of the ship. They were polishing the decks to the shiny, almost white, with the juice of exotic woods, exactly to make the wood look like it is practically white, and polished with the sand and stones. So that's why on the warships it is correct to have such clean, shiny, almost shiny deck. When on the whalers, for example, you can see all the dirt, because they were literally killing whales, slaughtering them, and that's why you can get all the possible dirt on the deck. So this is correct to use to make dirty decks on the whalers, but absolutely incorrect to do it on the warships, because warships were polished to a shiny surface, and it was like every warship was a face of the country, to represent your country. So it was something to like really literally face of the country. So that's why it was properly maintained, never peeling off paint and scratches, etc. That's why it is proper to make model like brand new glossy souvenir, what I can call it also, if it is a warship, and dirty, rusty if it is a whaler. Not in reverse. Peeling paint, scratches on the warship, this is something for what captain could just literally can be just can lose his head for for not maintaining his ship. So this is really like a question of honor. You have to take care of your ship. And this is something what I can see quite often, even on YouTube. And the worst part that on such YouTube channels, the owner of the channel is getting followers, and somebody is trying to repeat this worn out look of the warship, and this is such a big mistake. And this is what really makes me sad, that people are learning how to make mistake from other mistakes, and this is not right. So this is really sad part. And when I started these live streams, I just can feel the load of this responsibility. I'm so afraid to make mistake, because what if I made a mistake and you repeated this? So this is something what I'm afraid to do, because when you are teaching somebody to do something right, you have to make it just perfect without any mistakes. and to have answers on all questions. And sometimes like oops, I don't know answer on this question, I have to go and look in the books. And I'm still learning. Honestly, with every model I can find something new, and I can learn something new, how it was built, or traditions, and etc. So I'm learning something new with every my model. And I have one more. Let me turn around the model. Okay, this is just to make some speech, talk, to make it not that boring to watch how I'm applying oil on the model. So this is the last thing to apply. And this is actually interesting part. On the drawings, another tail of our bolt, or this, forgot the forelock. The end of the bolt which locked with forelock. We have another one right literally on the level of the deck, and on the drawing it is drawn exactly like in the deck. So maybe I have to drill with bigger diameter drill and to install that another tail, because on the drawing it is showing. Which one? Need to check, just want to show you, because if it is showing, but it is exactly the level of our deck, so we have to install that tail of our bolt for pintles and gudgeons, but it is really in such place, inconvenient. So it is visible, but I'm thinking about what to do with that. And in a moment, I think this is this drawing. Let me show it to you, what I'm talking about. Okay, just too much oil on this one. Slight cleaning. Wow, it is getting more and more juice and color in it. So I like this model, how it is growing and progressing. Okay, so let me put it aside to dry. And yes, before applying a layer of shellac, I will wait 2 weeks to dry it completely. Oh, so you have some problems with hearing? Is it working now, the microphone? I just can try to restart it. So, is any problems still with hearing me? Let me show you this. Oh, right proper spot. You see, we installed this tail of the bolt. This is an eye bolt with a forelock in the end. So we have made 2 parts of the bolt. So we installed this one. We have this one on our breast hook, let's say, or V-shaped knee. And this is the second one for the eye bolt, also for the pintles and gudgeons. And it is exactly, this is the level of our deck. So I'm thinking about drilling in the end of our deck a hole with big diameter drill, maybe 2.5 or 3 millimeters. And I want to install this one too. Not today, because I just oiled it, but maybe tomorrow we can do it. The oil will be dry enough, or next weekend. But this is something that we have to install also. And actually, before we will start installing and making all the parts, details on our boat, we need to make our rudder and tiller, because when you will put all the small details on the deck, you can't flip your model. You just can damage all the parts. And usually when you are making or working on the rudder, sometimes you have to flip your model just for convenience to install, for example, nails or something. Although this is a very simple construction, but let's make it tomorrow. Today we will work on our gun carriages, or gun carriages, right? So I'm sorry, I haven't slept 2 nights in a row properly, so I'm just a little lost around all over the place right now. But we have our gun carriages. Lots of parts. And I believe I have some wheels to shape, which I glued because they were chipping off with some just wood, so we need to shape them into proper wheels again. So let's work on these. And there was also something on this sliding one. I have to shape this part of the wood because it should be shaped narrowed in the end. So this is what we will do with this one today. Yeah, it was much more convenient to do it before gluing, but I was in a hurry to glue to get the shape. So now I have to deal with this. But I can always use my favorite tool or just use a file to shape it. Actually, where is my favorite file? File. Found it. And on the drawing it is, I'm marking it, so it's just somewhere right here. Like this. Has to be narrowed. And I'm using this file because it is without sending part on another side, so I can use only one side without damaging the rest of the gun carriage. Actually, I can use my favorite tool. Just let me remove. Where is the box for the drill bits? I was working, doing something. Much better, now you can hold it comfortably. Like this. I think I need to buy new ones. These are so old, they are not sanding anymore properly. Definitely. I had somewhere that wide. Where are they? Give me a second. I think I have in that box. Found it. But with this one you should be careful, don't touch the upper part, so it won't sand more than necessary. But this one will be much faster to sand the wood, and then I will polish it with the file. Definitely it's sanding much faster. Perfect. Not perfect. My camera is playing these tricks from the very beginning of the live stream. Oh, getting there. Nice. I want to get the same thickness as the rest of it, and it is exactly where I am now. So I just need to polish it and sand it into the proper, or to the proper level. perfect. Almost getting there, almost ready. Imbir's fur. Somehow it is all over the place, even if he is not visiting my table. I'm constantly getting his fur on the table. How to get my sandpaper from behind the drawing. Unplant it. Yeah, I just designed this frame sort of for the drawing so I can keep it next to me and to see what I'm doing, but this is what I was looking for, just to polish it. A little of Scotch Brite. Checking if I missed any questions. Oh, I have seen these birchwood oils on Amazon too, and I have seen also something with tint. There is colorless, yes, and I have seen something brown, I remember. Okay, I will check it. Honestly, I promise you I will check it. After the live stream, I will find that gunstock oils on Amazon which I have seen, and I will put them in the list with materials and tools. I think I haven't missed anything. If I missed any questions, please drop them in the regular comments under the video and I will answer them there much faster, because Amazon is processing every live stream about 2 days, and during these 2 days I can't read all these live chat questions. Okay, I think it's good. We need to glue. I probably will glue first these triangulars, and while they are drying we can work on the wheels. So I believe we have 3 and one of them is different size, so I'm trying to find the proper. This is the proper ones. This is the proper one, and this should be another one. So let's glue 3 of these triangulars. Of course I moved out of the screen. Good job. I will need a drop of glue. Drop of glue and some needles for applying the glue. And clamps. Clamp 1, clamp 2, one more. And I can bring camera closer actually. Much better. So now let's glue it, and then we can sand it together, glued together, I mean. And with basswood it is important to apply glue on both surfaces, because this wood is like a sponge. So to make a proper strong seam, definitely it is better to apply glue on both sides of the gluing part. Yeah, don't slide. Like this. Where is it for? It's glued to the needle. Yeah, I believe all the cat owners understand me now. Flying cats for all over the place, and believe me, Maine Coons for flying even higher. Because regular cats, their fur is all over the place. But Maine Coons for even more. No, don't move. Why it's moving in the moment I'm clamping it? Okay. Still moved. One more time to glue together. Like this. And one more. This is the one. And yeah, we still have to glue and solder some parts, but 2 days ago I made one stupid thing. I broken my solder iron into half, soldering iron into half, so I probably will go today into Michael's if they have what I want. I want the smallest, that's 60 watt small solder, the smallest soldering iron with so you can regulate also the temperature. Mine was $10 or $12. I bought it in the moment I moved here, so it was already 7 years old. 6 years old solder iron, let's say. So it did its job. So that $12 was already served their service well long time ago. Okay, so this one is good. Didn't move, so they are gluing. And while they are gluing, we can work on the wheels. And we also have to glue a few more parts. Let me check one more time what the manufacturer was thinking about. Oh. Yeah, we can glue it. And while I'm working with the rear parts, we can wait for this one. Okay. This is like this, I believe. Yeah. With drilled holes vertical. So this is the rear one. This is the front one. Let's glue them too. I need another 2 clamps. Ah! Almost glued it to the cutting mat. And that was not the plan. Where is my favorite tool? To scrape the glue. Oh, I have to clean it first. Okay, let me also clamp it, because it is very movable. But it is important to clean the glue, especially here, where we will be gluing our wheels. One more. Okay, while these parts are going, welcome to the channel who just joined us, and we are still working on the wheels for gun carriages. So we have 1, 2, I believe it was more, at least 3 wheels to shape. No? 2? Let me count them. No, this is another one, which I just know for what reason haven't sanded. It's perfectly fine normal wheel. Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Yes, I have 8 wheels, so 3 to shape. First I will work with these 2, so let me move a little everything so I can bring my favorite tool. Maybe something I can cut. Oh, I know why. This is a chip off, which I glued here. It's not visible even. This is what I was saying. If you cut something, check, because I made a mistake. I cut fast, throw immediately away the garbage together with all the chip offs of the wheel. So which this one, when I found the chip off, I glued it back, and it's not even visible where it's glued. But where I couldn't find, I glued these pieces of wood, which we now have to shape into a wheel shape. And maybe I will start with the scalper first. Like to cut a little to a proper shape before sanding. Just made another chip off. Let me glue this piece back. Yuck. That's why I don't like basswood. It is really very easy to crumble like this or make chip offs, and this is not good. So another seam to make. Oh, don't jump. Just want to glue you back. Not that easy to put it back. Okay. Dry. We'll work with this one. Let me repeat the same mistake. Okay, I will probably better sand it, so without creating the same mess. And every time I'm sanding something on the disc sander, I'm remembering that I forgotten, again, one more time, to replace the sandpaper, because this one is more than 1 year old. Nice. Almost ready. believe I can start sanding entire wheel already, almost. Just a little more. Nice! So I just shaped it. Let me shape it also in this way. So it is proper flat wheel. Ready? Always can use just a sanding block for this too. I believe so, yes. Don't know how much visible. Can you see this piece which I just glued? Yeah, it's a little visible because it was from different piece of wood, but from the other side it's not visible at all. So this is what we wanted. I will hide that side. We'll put it next to the gun carriage, and outside will be invisible part. Now I will sand the entire wheel. A little more. Clean or a little more? Maybe like here. A little more on this side. Perfect wheel. Perfect wheel. Now this one. Nice. Just want to clean first glue and then the rest of the wheel. Perfect. Actually, I'm thinking about making a few regular videos, like every Friday I'm doing with the rest of my models, what I'm building 40, 60, sometimes 200 hours, I'm showing you in 20 minutes. So I'm thinking about to make a video with the hull of the Gunboat Philadelphia. Exactly how I put together on this 60 episode the hull. So even if I worked exactly 2 hours on each episode, so 120 hours plus minus, I can calculate just by counting hours during all the live streams. But I can make 20 minutes video what I built during the 120 hours. So it will be about the hull. So just like speed up the process so you can see the key moments in one video. Yeah, sometimes I'm even searching in my own videos like what I was doing there or how I made this or that. Sometimes I'm getting inspired my own videos, what to make or how to improve my technique, for example, to make something, to manufacture some parts. And sometimes I'm using just absolutely different techniques for the same, like to make, don't know, let's say rings for the bolts or something. Or actually in the group, who is a member of the group build on the Gunboat Philadelphia, there is a trick published by one of the participants how to make flat rings. Just there is a tool, or just let's say designed special clamp how to cut it from these tubes. So just flat rings. That was smart. So need to try that too. Is good enough, or a little more sanding? So if you are cutting tube, you are getting perfect flat ring without that joint, because when I'm bending wire, I have still that joint moment, place where the wire just put together. Okay, and the last one, let me check it one more time. Oh no, maybe a little more sanding on this side. So let's do something with this one. I will send it from this direction where I glued it. Because actually I will sand it completely, so maybe I even shouldn't bother with that chip of wood, but did it already. And maybe also this direction first to make it flat as it should be. A little more. Maybe a little more on the sanding block. Perfect. Now let's make it rounded again. Getting there. Nice. Yeah, on this side it is not even visible, almost not visible anymore, what is good. This is what we needed. Oh. A little more of sanding. Almost ready, just a little more sanding of these glue drops. It will be perfectly rounded one. Oh, Anthony, you almost finished your gunboat? That was fast. Yeah, of course, I'm building only 2 hours on each live stream and only twice a week. If I'm not missing anything. Or don't have any appointments when I have to miss the live stream. But yeah, it is slow. I agree. I think it's good. Just a little more sanding of these burning edges. Perfect wheel. And now, oh, don't want to move the table. We need to make all these ends rounded exactly for these wheels. So I believe it is even. No, it's just perfect. Just visually looks like this is narrower sides than this is. Okay, let's try. Where is my file? Favorite one. Maybe I should bring camera closer, more closer. So let me bring it more closer. Over here. I believe this is now much better. Now you can see how I repair the wheel. One of them, this is the most damaged one. So we have this piece, it's visible where it's glued, of course. But here you can't see anything on this side. This is the side which I will glue visible. So let's work on these parts. Which one I started sanding? This is the one. Still have this feeling that it is not perfectly square and right, not perfectly square. So we'll see how it will work in a moment. Yeah, I'm afraid that it is definitely not perfectly square, so it will be ellipse shaped if I want to keep my wheels on it without being lost so tightly, like, let's say. Okay, let's see how it is really working. Visible parts definitely should be completely sanded from the burned edges, but it is ellipse shaped, not rounded. Yeah, unfortunately. And yeah, it gets in there a little more of sanding of these corners, and it is ellipse shaped for sure. Where is it? Nice. Wide. This is something similar to these nail polishers, but this is really made for the wood. I believe Micromac has them a lot different of this stuff, and lots of on Amazon. and they also can be with different grades. Yes, the proper term. This is quite big size, that's why it can sand very fast. So what do we have here now? Slight polishing with file after this. I believe this is 400, yes, sandpaper. Wheel. Ellipse shape, and it is not sitting tight. Can I find something a little over sanded, but I can find wheel in which will be sitting there tight. So something like this. I'm really not happy with this result. But what can I do? This is how it was designed. Oops. How it will be sitting? This is rear one. And if I will put wheel on this side, yeah, it's kinda alright. Just want to clean this burnt brown edge, at least on the visible part of it. Like this. One more to sand. The goal is to glue them together today. Then I will go and buy new soldering iron for tomorrow. If not, I have to figure out what we are doing tomorrow, because we need to solder that, what was, cup squares. Yeah, we need to make cup squares. We can put the rest of the metal parts, but it will be without cup squares. I am thinking about crazy stuff. I have small chain from the Pinky schooner. I believe such small size of chain you can buy in the Model Shipways store, Model Expo store, because this is from there. If I can make that chain for the lock for the cup squares. Crazy, but it is such a big scale that it just asking me, just begging me, please make me install the chain. Actually, what is written here, SS marked, what is this? Lanyards for case. But I believe it was chain. We can make it from the rope. We'll see. But it is really such a big scale. Just is asking you, begging you, please make me. I can drill the hole in the wire to install that lanyard. Usually I'm just imitating it, just like 4 locks for the tails of the bolt, same imitation, but we can make it not imitation, we can make it real. In this scale it is possible. And actually we have to make also the rudder, so even if I won't buy the soldering iron, we can work on the rudder until I will buy soldering iron. Because I bought mine on Amazon, but the problem is with Amazon that they will deliver it in 3-5 days and we need it for tomorrow. And also another thing what I noticed, Amazon is more expensive than the local stores are. And another recently noticed thing, that Amazon is reselling something that was returned without even checking how it was returned. Like you can, this is what I got recently. Actually, Krum decided to make me a gift. He bought a battery for my camera, and because it's an expensive battery, the also original very expensive batteries for it. So he paid huge bucks, and the box arrived opened, just sticker on top of it, glue, like it was repacked, right? But this is something what I want to get brand new in closed box without being open, because who knows how many times it was used before it was sent back. And just I came from the country when people are cheating with this a lot, and this is not about Americans, I know it, but still I have that feelings, just the hair, my hair is rising vertically from this. And this is true. Maybe that's why we have also these fake volunteers in Ukraine, and they are creating not very good picture for Ukrainians quite often. That's why real volunteers are sending reports what they have spent and where, with what they are doing with the money which was donated. And this is just like, I have to report you that I am a real volunteer, and these fake volunteers are just creating bad face for the country. And unfortunately we have them too. And as I said before, not the best part of Ukrainians also are abroad, sitting and telling something like, we have to feed us, we don't want to do anything, but you have to feed us. This is not real Ukrainians. Real Ukrainian will come, will put sleeves above the elbows and start working like mule. Because that's the part of Ukraine who was screaming, Putin come and save us, Russian speaking. They are creating not a very good picture of immigrants abroad, because they are lazy like Russians. And the thing is that they are probably children of immigrated Russians on Ukrainian lands before, and this is exactly how that propaganda worked, and people honestly believed that if they were born in Ukraine, they still think about them that they are Russians, and they are screaming that Russia should come and save them. Why they don't want to move to Russia? Why Russia should come and save them? This is what sometimes pisses me off, the most. Because my point is that if you were born in this country, so you are no longer Russian, you already are Ukrainian. Am I not right? And that is true. While it was Soviet Union, lots of Russians just moved on Donetsk, Lugansk. This is the most Russian-speaking regions in Ukraine. But I don't think that their children are Russian. They are already Ukrainians, because they were born there. Yeah, just painful. After all night massive attack, I'm just too emotional. I haven't slept. And I'm just really a little distressed, that's proper term. And tired. So maybe after the live stream I just will go hug the pillow and will disappear for a couple of hours. Just because of some people's stupidity, we have war in the country. I think, yes, I have 2 more to make such. And before gluing, I have to sand entirely these pieces. Just let me complete with the rounded part. On this one clearly can see that it is ellipse shaped, not rounded, you see? So nothing we can do about this part. This is how it was designed. These 2 parts, I can sand them also a little, because these are wider upper parts, so we need to make them, to level them. And this. A slight touch. Oh yeah, very weak internet, I know that feelings. Or complete absence of it when you are sitting without electricity. This is why I was constantly postponing or canceling live streams while I was in Kiev. But you actually are planning an entire day of yours around the schedule of electricity. Because when you don't have it, you are trying to do something outside. And the moment you are getting it back, you are trying to do something like heating the water, do the laundry, vacuum cleaning, cooking food, and trying to warm up your apartment. I know that feelings. And of course, without electricity, no internet. Yep. Something like this. And yes, it is ellipse shaped. Okay, I believe we can... Oh, I have one more. Then we can finally assemble our gun carriages and glue them together. Let me check the wheel. Good. This is a... and we have three triangulars also to send. Oh, and we have to cut also these notches for the gun carriages, then we can assemble it. But as I said, I want to assemble it today. So tomorrow we will work on something different. Probably if I work like full time on, like I'm working on other models, I probably could assemble these gun carriages during one day, just working from morning to evening as I'm usually doing it. But for the live stream, this is already the second one, so maybe we will need another one for all the metal parts and details to be assembled, and maybe another one for rigging them, because we have two gun carriages will be rigged identically, and one in the bow is a little differently rigged. A little. The idea is the same, just it is on the sliding bar gun carriage, not on the wheels. That is slightly different. Good. A little dusty part of work. And the more I'm working on the Gunboat Philadelphia, the more I'm thinking that I have to make regular videos. Like logical points. Hull, rigging the gun carriages, and then details, everything what we will build on the deck, and then the rigging. Like 3-4 episodes, these key moments. Wheel. Good. Now we have these triangulars, and we can do it on the sanding block. This is the easiest probably way to do it. Ouch! Preferably without sanding your nails, or don't grow such long nails. I'm getting sometimes comments like, "Hey fella, trim your nails," and then I'm answering something like, "I'm actually not fella." And I'm like, "Oops, sorry." But I'm using my nails as tweezers, especially when I'm rigging models. It's very convenient to have long nails exactly for this. Don't know if it can work for you guys. For me it is working perfectly fine. More of sanding. Until you will get clean wooden surface or pure wood. or bare wood, actually, maybe the proper term to say. So you can't see actually which part was laser cut when it is completely sanded. Like here, almost getting there. Yeah, like this one. A little more sanding here. On this side. A little more. And here. A little more. Something like this. I will create soft radiuses, of course, of each edge. So something like this with the rest too. Oh, thank you very much, Sally. I'm glad you liking my channel. This is why I'm making all these videos. And the best thank you when you are texting something like, I found a new trick, I found something useful. This is just like a balsam on my soul, for my soul. So you're just inspiring me to keep working, editing and posting it. So with such inspiration I can continue running this channel. Thank you guys. So you are making this channel too. This is a smaller piece, longer but smaller, not comfortable to hold, but not impossible. Let me switch side. Maybe it will sand better here. Yes, it helped. And as I said before, it's funny, but I'm sometimes watching my own videos just to remember what and how, what way I did this or that. Sometimes I'm just creating something useful just in the process. And then I'm struggling like, what to do with this? And that is why I never had only one model on my table, usually two. So when I'm struggling with one, I can build another one. But then when I created this channel, I'm struggling with 5, 6 models. How many I have? If I won't count live streaming, because it's like we've chosen it together with my influence which model to choose, as I said before, I was quite happy when you have chosen the Gunboat Philadelphia, because when I saw her, first impression was like, oh, this is waterline model, what an ugly model. And then I looked carefully, like, oh no, it's not waterline model, it's such shape of the hull. And then like, oh, that's interesting. Then I started reading about this model, about this boat, and like decided, oh wow, it's interesting. And when we were voting, maybe because I was so excited to build this one, so I advertised it more about her history than the others. But I was very happy when you have chosen this one. Just really want to build this. Just got a huge desire to build this one, and especially with this coming anniversary, 250 years. Where is the third piece? Oh, under my nose. Oh, thank you, Michael, for your support. Guys, you are the sponsors of this channel. Really, you are making it possible to run, because there is always constantly something needed, especially with live streams, cables, batteries, and right now probably I'm thinking about deep cleaning of my camera because of all this dust. I can see that it is getting, and I don't have that. We call it soap in my language, like that you don't have, it's like sharp but not really sharp edges, like soapy. So I definitely have to clean inside, because that camera hasn't been cleaned, I mean deep cleaning, a while. So is for the lenses. I recently found a crack on the plastic hole or ring. It's not something what is influence the lens itself, but if it will crack deeper, it can be a problem. So I definitely have to carry my lens into the shop to check and glue and fix it if it is possible before it will fall apart. So this is really a big support, everything what you are doing. So thank you very much, guys, for supporting my channel. And maybe it's already time to think about finally a new camera. My camera is 9 years old already. I bought it in 2017, when the moment it appeared, it was released. So it's just exactly 9 years old camera right now. I bought it somewhere in March, February 2017. Yeah, and I'm filming every day and live streaming and everything, and it is sitting in the dusty workshop already 6 years. I'm impressed with this camera. But yeah, everything is getting old, cracking, peeling off, and some parts of it already unglued, like skin of the camera. And this is bad because it's no longer dust proof. That is why probably I'm getting this soapy picture. Thank you for the thumbs up too. I like them a lot. Thank you, guys. Okay, one more piece to sand, and then we start doing something more interesting. Oh, right. I haven't shaped one side of the this axis for the axis. I believe this proper term for the wheels. So one more piece to shape. When I will finish this piece with sanding. Almost done. If it stopped jumping, can make it faster. Oh, my pleasure, Michael. If it become helpful and useful for you, this is, as I said, the biggest inspiration for me to continue running it and making all these videos. And also, as I said before, since my channel started growing and I start making all these videos, live streams, this is a huge responsibility to teach you properly without teaching you new mistakes. So I'm just checking books more regularly than I even was doing it before. So I definitely given you the right information, the correct one. ouch, sanded my nail together with a piece of wood. Okay, good one. I forgot to round the edges of one of these triangular pieces. Good. One more of these to shape. I'm glad to hear it, Sally. This is just really... I remember every time when beginners are asking me questions like, what glue to use? And I remember me like, deja vu! I had this question in my mind when I was building my first model. I just forgotten it during this time. And if you are asking questions, you just reminding me myself, and I remember what exactly I have to show you and explain what is better not to use, etc. And yes, I prefer to use all the materials which are reversible, so your model in the future can be restored and can have a very long life. That's why I'm not using varnishes, because with the time varnish like absorbs the dust, and if you want to restore and varnish something, you have to remove the varnish, and with the model that is a problem. This is what I did for the Boreas. Not impossible, but it was a huge pain in the neck to do. Was it just shellac on top of it as a finish? That can be much easier, much safer for the model also, because when it is varnished you just can destroy it, especially if it is old model. That's why I'm not using any varnishes. Yeah, if you are building RC controlled model, then you have to use epoxy even, not only all that varnishes to protect the wood, but does not mean that that model should live forever. It will be constantly in the wet conditions, so it has to be protected. But when it is just table model or stand model, I don't know if it's a proper term, we have such term in Ukrainian. If I will translate it literally, it's stand model. So the model which should sit only on the table, so you can look at her, but you can't actually drop her in the water and play with her. A little more. Just a little more sanding. Good. Let's light sanding. Okay. We'll sweep it in this groove, then I will vacuum clean it after the live stream. And we have to cut it like this. And the problem is that it is marked straight when it should be at an angle. So I have an idea just to flip it. Oh, I can't do this with this one. Probably I should glue it in reverse, but it's already done like this. So I have this marking. So, okay. Let me mark it with a scalpel. And have dust on my hands a little. How awful it is on this side. Even if I will cut it straight as it is, because it will be visible. Okay, we'll do it. How deep it should be. Nothing about it, so it shouldn't be deeper than these notches. So let's do it. And file. Oh, good job. Something like this. What do we have here now? I understood what is wrong. This is much wider than the marks. So we need to make it a little wider. because this is somebody forgotten about this thickness additional inside, and this is how it should be now. Yep, same here. Finally, this is how it should be. Like this. Let's try with the front one now. Left, right, this one or that one? And here I believe I have this inside this piece, which was right here. And now we have it. Or no, I just need to cut a little more left and right, because it can't fit. So everything is alright with that piece. Just too wide, this part. Just a little wider. And yes, it can fit now. One direction. So this is how it should be. Now it needed good polishing, sand and polishing. I don't know if I can read your name properly, Michelle. Sounds like French. I'm sorry if I can't read it properly, but thank you very much for your support. As I said, guys, you are making possible to run this channel and to make all these live streams. So thank you, a big thank you for this. I really appreciate your support. Yeah, that is correct. Because probably these gun carriages are with same diameter wheels, that's why they are making this elevation in the front part, but usually it is the size of wheels, so maybe that's why the decision was made like this. As I said, this entire boat is so interesting because it is a warship, but in the same time it is not like everybody else. So it's just something unique, and that's why I like it a lot, that I'm getting a lot of such. For at some point, at first moment it's like weird something or something new for me, but that's why it is so exciting. So you can actually apply all the warship building rules. Not that it is really rules, but just not like everybody else. Not like all that huge three-masted frigates, etc. So this is just something different. And that is why I like her probably the most. Slight radiuses, maybe a little more polishing of the edges. Same I have to do for the wheels, I have to polish them too before gluing. And right now I have a question. These drilled holes, they are for some sort of pins to hold wheels, but my question is, were they wooden or metal? Such big hole. So I need to check what is Bratton says about it, what is in his reports. And actually right now it is much more convenient to sand it when we can glue them all, then final sanding of the wheels before gluing them to the gun tracks. And do that. Oh, and sometimes you can get this very weird, not really beautiful. You see the shape of the inside, it's from the laser cut, not perfectly rounded. Finally found proper spot in the middle of the screen. So it's inside not really rounded, it's not beautiful. Just want to make it evenly rounded if it is even bigger than we needed. It won't be so eye-poking. Not all of them like that. Yes, it is ellipse shaped, nothing we can do about that. But it is what it is. So I'm thinking about gluing the wheels, but I don't want to glue them to the gun carriages itself yet. So let's sand and glue them, and I believe this will be it for today. And if even I don't have strength to go and buy soldering iron today, tomorrow we will work on the rudder. So what do you think about this idea? Which side of the wheel I like more? Funny. Slight sanding of these parts. Oh, thank you. You already checked it. That I really appreciate that. Just save my time. But still, I don't want to glue them completely. I just want to glue cure on for the wheels, so then we can make final touches to the wheels, because it's convenient to hold something bigger than just rounded wheel. So we will glue them to this axis, but I won't glue them to the gun carriages itself. And yeah, I have seen the term gun truck in the instructions, but it is actually gun carriages, not gun trucks. Well, both are actually, well, can be. Just first time I have seen this term here in this kit. Now let's check how much wider to make these notches. This is from here, I believe, this one. Wrong gun carriage. Yay! Perfect. about here. Should I make it a little wider? Yes, just a little, or narrower in between the sides or notches. Yay! Perfect. Now I want to glue the wheels, but I won't glue the entire piece to the gun carriage yet, and we need to make also handles for our triangles, so this will be for the next episode. Just let's prepare wheels, and I want to sand them a little, more likely to polish them, so I will just do it on the sandpaper. Yeah, you can see this one polished, this one is dirty. Let me make it a little darker so you can see it better. This one polished, this one is still dirty. So this is just more likely to remove the dirt which soaked into that unpolished surface, because it's the basswood, I call it hair, with hairy surface. Its fibers like rising and curling up, and just all the dust and dirt sticks into it and it looks like dirt. That's why basswood should be not only sanded but also polished with Scotch-Brite before applying any finishes, even shellac. Because this is the first wood on which even shellac can look like a dirt if the surface is not prepared perfectly. That was a new discovery for myself too. So you see guys, I'm learning with you something new too. I'm learning how to work with basswood. Because basswood, this is how Google also translate the wood which I'm usually using for filling the gaps. Linden, I believe, is another one. This is what I'm usually using. It's very light wood, but when Google translated me like basswood, I bought it. I filled the spaces on the frigate Confederacy, and that was wood heavy, like I have filled the spaces with bricks. So like I said immediately, this is texture is very similar, it is soft, easy to cut, but it is heavy like hell. That's why I'm using pine for filling the spaces here, because American pine is much lighter and even softer than Ukrainian. I don't know why. What is different between they are grown in different places of the world, but American pine is more like Ukrainian linden. So that's why I switched to this wood for filling spaces. And just basswood, it's only look like linden, but absolutely not. Okay, I need to polish also a little more these surfaces. And let's glue the wheels. Just will put them first dry, then I will glue them. So this is a pair of wheels which I was fixing, and as you can see I put inside that parts which are visible, because outside it's not visible at all. So this is how I will glue them. And this one need to polish a little this part. So let's glue them, and this will be it for today. I will use a fresh drop of glue. Need to clean the needle. Okay, this will be such thick layer of glue because of that round shape, so I won't apply it also on the wheels, but I hope it will fill that gaps. Don't want to have it in one place. Okay, too much glue. How about the second one? This is also the chipped off one, so it will go like this, so it won't be visible. Oh, this one tight, good. Yeah. Just want to clean the drop. Like this. Let's glue the next one. This one is done. 4 more wheels. Oh, my great big pleasure, Douglas. Douglas, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name properly. I hope this is not a big mistake. Douglas is first, the proper one. I don't know which I bought pine here. It was the cheapest and smallest piece of wood which I can find. The color is yellow, very light, very easy to cut, very easy to sand. I was surprised. So I don't know which pine I bought, but I liked it. I used it for the speedy fill in the spaces as an experiment, and I decided that wow, I like this one more than basswood for filling the spaces. And the model is not that heavy, still light, so I will use it for the next time too. This is tight one. So you just gave me another lesson that you have different pines here. It is quite useful information, so I have to pay attention next time I'm buying something. I also haven't found here maple, white maple, because in Ukraine we have maple which is completely white, maybe just a little more yellowish, just slight shade yellowish than holly, because this is what usually modelers are using in Ukraine. If they need white wood, they are using maple, white maple. And I couldn't find this here, but I found the original ones, because usually this is what was used on the models. White wood, this is holly. So this is another sandwich. I'm quite happy to use holly, because this is what was used on the contemporary models too. Boxwood, pear, ebony, holly. Shall I glue both? Yes. And the last two. Okay, I'm getting dirt on it because I haven't sanded wheels inside. This is where the dirt is coming from. Now I understood. And the last wheel, and this will dry till next time. And I will go and buy soldering iron now, then I will take a nap, because I'm so tired that I badly want a nap. But if I will go now, I probably won't go anywhere to buy the soldering iron. And I definitely need it for the next episode with assembling the gun carriages, because what is needed? Just put them, assemble them together and start filling with the details, metal details, which I still have to solder and make. This is what I've glued today. And let me switch to a bigger screen, like this. So with this, I believe this is it for today. Oh, we still have to make some handles for these triangulars. We will make them next time too. So with this, I believe this is it for today. See you tomorrow, guys, at the same time. And I am going to buy soldering iron. And I will find gunstock oils, which I have seen on Amazon, and will put them in the list with materials and tools. So, which I have seen very similar, or looking similar, and description is similar to what I'm using here. Where is that bottle? Where is that bottle? Right here. Just is a series for taking care of wooden parts. So, and the only what I found is the proper translation that this is gunstock oil. So with this, I wish you a nice rest of the day. A big thank you to the sponsors one more time. Just huge thank you, guys. You are making possible to run this channel and making all these videos. So thank you, and I believe that lots of viewers also thanking you for that. And see you tomorrow, guys. Take care.